For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Sara Pelegreen Show, currently joined by Wheeling University head softball coach Sara Pelegreen. And Sara, you guys are back from your Florida trip, 8 games down in the Sunshine State. Talk about the trip as a whole and kind of what it was like and what you saw from your girls.
First of all, beautiful weather. I'll tell you that. It's kind of sad coming back to the snow right now. No, we went down to Florida and we played some really good ball teams and we learned a lot about ourselves. And I can honestly say we are coming back from Florida a better team than when we went down to Florida.
And while you were down there, you did get your first win in your first game against Holy Family. What was that like to kind of get that first win under your belt and kind of use that?
Not only is it the first win, and yes, the monkey's off the back and everything like that, it was a good win. We went down 4-0 in the first inning, and then we responded instantly with 6 runs. So I think what I'm really proud about is that our girls just didn't, go into a hole after that first inning, and they came back and they fought for the win, and we kept it. We had a beautiful outing by Jamie Anderson that game, and it was just really cool to see everybody come together and go after a win, because that's kind of what we've been lacking. Is we'll play really good for a few innings and then we'll start slacking off a little bit. And so to put a whole game together was really cool.
And while you guys down there, you got to see some teams that you don't normally see, and like Holy Family, Kentucky Wesleyan, and some others. What's that like when you get to see these teams that you're not as familiar with and kind of preparing for them?
I think it's great, and we did play a couple really, really good teams, including Trevecca Nazarene. Like we were beating them for most of the game, and then we ended up losing in the last couple innings. And but it just says a lot about what this team is capable of. We are playing good teams to pretty good games right now, and I think if we keep building off of that, it'll the sky's the limit for us right now. And getting to go down there and play the teams that we did and see a different look, it just gives us a different level of competitiveness that we may or may not see in our conference teams.
And one group that really excelled down there was the catching core, Maddie Munoz and Madison George. Talk about those two and kind of what clicked for them and what got them going.
I think just timely hits. We have been lacking that as a whole. We've been getting the runners on base. We just haven't been hitting them in. And what's really cool is that, Maddie Munoz, she is seeing the ball. I think she had 3 triples while we were down there. And Madison George, she hasn't been in the lineup super consistently, but when she is, every single time she's given herself a fighting chance to. She not only puts the balls in play, but she puts the ball in play hard. And so for them to just kind of be clicking right now, they're both going to be in our lineup. That's not a secret at this point. We just got to figure out how to manage that.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head softball coach Sara Pelegreen. And Sara, you guys are now getting ready for doubleheader action against Ohio Dominican tomorrow, barring weather issues. Talk about this doubleheader and kind of what it's going to be like in your final non-conference preseason game.
So the thing about Ohio Dominican is they have a tough lineup, and what that is going to show us is how we come out defensively, pitching wise. Are we going to make our plays or are we not? Are we going to hold a good lineup to a lot of runs or a little bit of runs? And I think that's what the test is for tomorrow, because they do have a solid lineup through their whole 1 through 9. And so just competing at that level going into our conference games this weekend, it'll just show us what level we have to play at to win a ball game.
And with this being your last non-conference match before MEC play, talk about kind of what adjustments you guys are making or how you're preparing for that competitiveness that the MEC has.
Right now it's kind of difficult when we come back here, it's snowing and we don't get awesome practice time. But we are talking a lot about what we haven't been doing right and what we need to fix. Because at the end of the day, it's about us and it's not about the other team. And that's what we preach a lot with our team. We focus on what we can handle and not what anybody else is going to handle against us. So that's what we're just going back to the drawing board. What were we good at? What weren't we good at this past week in Florida? And what do we need to get better at going into conference?
And finally, looking at this week of play against Ohio Dominican and then Alderson Broaddus and Notre Dame, how are you approaching this weekend and kind of attacking the team as a team?
Just kind of the same thing. We have to focus on what we are good or what we are bad at right now and move forward there. I think that, this opening weekend with conference is going to be a pretty good one. I think that we can compete against the teams that we are playing. And like, it's exciting. It's finally like, this is why, right? You play for your conference season. And so everything up till now has been cool. Don't get me wrong, but this is why we are playing, is for conference games. And so it just means a little bit more. And so I think that you're going to see a little bit more fight from our program in general this coming weekend.
Thanks, Sarah. Good luck this week. Can't wait to see you out there.
Thank you.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.